Back to another video, ladies and gentlemen. As we can see today, we are reacting to another video from Bullet Warning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are reacting to Roblox games you've probably forgot about. You probably just forgot about these games. Comment down below some games you forgot about. And huge shout out to him once again. Big shout out to him. Go subscribe to him. His link to his channel will be in the description. Let's go. Let's watch. Let's see what's going on. Okay, wait, muted. There we go.
What was the first game you played on Roblox? For some of you older players, it might be a game like Natural Disasters, Prison Life, or Work at a Pizza Place.
First game I played was Jailbreak. What about y'all? Let me know.
And for some of you newer players, it might be a game like Jailbreak, Piggy, or Build-A-Boat. Here are some Roblox games you might have forgot about and probably haven't played in a long time. So first, let's start with an absolute classic that I mentioned before, Natural Disaster Survival. Natural Disaster Survival was released December 4, 2011 as a round-based survival game with 6 disasters and 8 maps, a bit under half of what it has today. The game was made by Stickmaster Luke, whose avatar or name you've seen somewhere no matter when you started playing. He even has a Roblox toy made of him, which I happen to own. Now the interesting part about this game, especially considering its player count, is that it's actually never gotten regular updates. If you take a look at the update log on the wiki, you'll see that it's only gotten 13 updates in its 11 years of being on Roblox, the latest being 2 years ago in April of 2021, and the one before that 5 years ago in June of 2018. For such an old game to still peak at 10,000 players with no new updates, it's amazing to see. However, because of Stickmaster Luke not making anything new or at least fixing older things in the game like the vehicles, I don't see this game growing in popularity, and it'll only grow with the amount of new players joining Roblox.
Exactly.
Now we have a big jump in player count, from many thousands to a couple hundred. 2 games you may not even have heard about, Apocalypse Rising and Apocalypse Rising 2.
I've heard of these
Apocalypse
games.
Rising was released July 1st, 2012
if you know about these games, let me know.
Against zombies and other players, created by Gus Minak and until 2015, Solarcath. It was one of the biggest games of Roblox, being the front page for years and winning Best Survival Game in 2013, even before it was called the Bloxies. If you were a competitive player, then this was one of the games you went to. However, because of it being such an old game and very easy to hack with Roblox's bad security, things were breaking all the time and hackers took over the game. This ruined the game for the players as well as the developer Gus Minak, to the point that he didn't want to work on the game anymore. Almost a year after this announcement, on August 4, 2017, Apocalypse Rising 2 Alpha was released for 1,000 Robux.
I don't have 1,000 Robux!
It has since been made free to play and is being updated to this day, getting over 1,000 players every weekend. However, Apocalypse Rising 1 is nowhere as close, only peaking at 100 players every weekend, and is sadly still swarmed by flying cars.
Wow.
Next, we have a Tycoon game, which I think is one of the best to this day, Lumber Tycoon 2.
Lumber Tycoon? I never played this game. I know what it is, though.
In May of 2015, when the creator Defaulty got to be a part of Roblox's incubator program, where he got to work with Roblox to develop original games. He decided to go back to one of his old games, Lumber Tycoon or Lumber Tycoon 1 from 2008, and thought about what made it so successful. With this information, he made Lumber Tycoon 2, where the player chooses what to do next instead of the button upgrades which every other Tycoon game had. With something as unique and well made as this, it was destined to do well. With the alpha released to the public in July of 2015, it was simply named Test and only had a few players every day. But in August, when it was released to beta, it was finally named Lumber Tycoon 2 and it got its iconic icon, reaching 10,000 players in a matter of hours. The game still peaks at around 4,000 players every day, but with the further evolution of Tycoon games, there being easier options, and simply no recent game update except for bug fixes, the player count has basically stayed the same for years. Next, we have, to me, a very underrated game, Roblox Death Run.
Oh, wow, that was a real close one, sister.
Yeah, I feel like Obbies and Death Runs have kind of like...
Death Run, or at the time Death Run 3, was released in 2015 by a team of developers, but the most known one being Weasley. The game was massive back in 2015 and years after that, but sadly, even though Roblox's player count has gotten higher, Death Run's player count has only lowered. The only time the game got a lot of players was with the 2020 EggHunt and the 2021 Metaverse event. Not many updates happened after that until on October 17 of 2022, Weasley announced that Death Run will no longer be getting any more updates. It's sad to see Death Run go. I have a lot of good memories on it, and every time I hear any of the music in the game, but especially the main menu music, I get super nostalgic, but it is what it is.
But yeah.
Next, let's talk about a game that met a sad ending, getting shut down by Pikachu himself. Pokemon Brick Bronze and its successor Lumia Legacy. Pokemon Brick Bronze was released as a demo on the 24th of October in 2015 by a couple of developers, but the most recognizable ones being Lando 64000 and T Brad M. Back then, it was one of the biggest games on Roblox, in the front page getting a couple thousand concurrent players. The story, the gameplay, and the community all really good. However, sadly, it was shut down by Pokemon just 2.5 years later after the beta release.
That's why
Over a year passed until the game known as Lumion Legacy released. It had the same idea as Pokemon, gotta catch them all, but since it wasn't Pokemon you were catching and it was all disgusting Arthro, it didn't feel the same. And now without recent updates, the game only averages around 1,000
I believe it.
players.
Sometimes it's like
I don't know how many players a couple thousand from 2018 would be in today's Roblox.
I want to add something right there. I feel that sometimes like fictional cards like in these Roblox card games, they don't feel, it's just not the same as like the real, but sometimes they are actually good.
But even a re-upload of Pokemon Bricks runs is getting around the same amount of players as Lumion Legacy, so you can just imagine how big it would be with the proper advertising. And also just a fun fact before going to the next game is that this game was one of the first videos on Russo's channel. You can actually find a stream of his with a sub goal of 800 subscribers. Now let's talk about a game that people thought would replace a massive game in the same category, Mad City. Mad City, created by Swifty Studios, got to the front page in January of 2019, instantly being compared to Jailbreak, with one of the big differences being the addition of superheroes. With the new superhero team as well as so many new things to do,
look at that.
for some,
OG
Mad City became the new
right
number one Roblox person game. The fight between Jailbreak and Mad City lasted for a long time, at least with the fans, but still the Jailbreak developers Hassan and Bad CC or Badimo wouldn't just accept defeat, so they went from monthly to weekly updates to compete. This update schedule lasted for a couple months until it occasionally went to every 2 or 3 weeks and then back to monthly in September. Mad City got its ups and downs over the next 3 years.
Honestly, I don't know much about this game. Like,
a lot of people
Mad City is fun as hell.
23rd of July 2022. Chapter 2 came out.
It looks like GTA to me.
It was good. This is crazy.
But what came after, people were not fans of. Usually a game after a massive anticipated update like this would get more new players, but just a month after Chapter 2 came out, it had less players than before the update. Chapter 2 simply made the game too different from what it was in Chapter 1. And another example of this happening is for Piggy Book 1 and Piggy Book 2. This was before Chapter 2, but Jailbreak has now taken back the #1 spot for the Roblox prison game genre, at least player count wise. And unless Mad City somehow makes a massive comeback or a crazy good prison game comes out, then this is not changing.
I've never played any
now
Roblox games. Like, I don't know anything about
Camping made by Samsung XVI or just
I've
Samsung
never played
was
any
first getting
games
big in April 2019.
showed in this video.
The
It's
story
kind of
was
like
interesting and the game was very
Jailbreak.
enjoyable. And not only was it massive on YouTube, but it also had a massive impact on the Roblox story game genre as a whole. A bunch of new story games came out trying to get on the trend, like High School,
I would always think it'd be
Island,
cool to make
and also
one.
if you ever see story games joke about a food item being poisoned, that's because of camping.
Until you find out one sandwich has been poisoned.
Every story game used this excuse to kill off a player.
Every camping story is the exact same.
Anyway, Samsung made 3 new games in 2019 to continue the story: Camping 2, Hotel, and Mansion. All of them being very successful. Samsung stopped making the camping games after Mansion in October 2019, and
maybe one day it'll be forgotten. Who knows? Maybe in like 10 years, Just to Impress will be forgotten. Who knows?
It wasn't until over a year later, in December 2020, when he finally made a new story game called Armageddon, which was a pretty big fail. Currently, it only has 2.6 million visits. Then basically half a year later, on June 6, 2021, we got the final camping game, Camping 3. It was nice to see the camping story come to an end, and overall, it was a good game.
Oh, who you will snack on? Wait, what, to me? Oh my god.
My ears, bro.
Look, he even has his little face right there as the picture. That was delicious.
But it had been close to 2 years since the last camping-related game, and not only had that taken away a lot of the hype,
this game
but
seems
Roblox
cool. I never played it. It
evolved.
just seems like
the
a
story
vibe.
game genre, we had games like Breakin', which are high quality, but are
I've
also
never
a
played
lot
one
more
of these.
replayable. Since Camping 3, Samsung's made one new game called Most
nom,
Academy,
nom.
which came out in September
Nom, nom,
2022,
nom,
last
nom.
year. The game currently has the most concurrent players, but the like to dislike ratio doesn't look as good. But despite that, as well as the game only being out for around half a year, it still got more visits than Camping 3. Samsung's recently started working on a new game unrelated to camping or Most Academy, but he says that he might make a sequel to Most Academy at some point in the future.
Okay.
Hello,
What
everyone.
the heck? Yo, whoa!
Your girlfriend model in her AI in just
Now we're in 2020. We have a pig-inspired game which is still averaging a crazy amount of players to this day.
I don't even know.
Spider. Spider, made by Roy Stanford, got popular early June 2020, possibly because of Albert's video on it. The game is exactly like Piggy with the goal to escape, but with the big difference being that the killer is the spider. And the fun part is that you can actually
why
be
is
your
there an
own
ad for that on a Roblox video, bro? Like, give me like an ad for like Roblox. Like, what is this?
avatar when playing as a spider. The game peaked in summer of 2020 with tens of thousands of players, but with no new updates, it lost most of its players in just 2 months. The game only has 1 chapter,
AI
there's really no
tweaking
story
for
to
real.
it, and the skins are really not worth grinding for, so
need
it's still
YT
getting
Premium?
10,000
Yo,
players.
Chat, should I buy YT Premium? In my opinion, YouTube should give that for free, dog. They should give it for free, you know?
It's
like,
crazy,
if you hit
and
a
without
certain
a
sub
doubt
limit.
makes it the biggest Piggy-inspired
That'd
game
be
by
cool,
far.
but I don't think they
really
would.
what we learned from this is that Roy Stanford knows how to make a big game. He just has to learn about how to update them. Now we have a game with a very interesting story development-wise, Timmy. Timmy made by
Timmy,
Wonderworks and
yo, I haven't
Creekcraft,
heard-
released in beta September 3rd,
Wait, hold on.
2020. Development-wise, Timmy made by Wonderworks and Creekcraft, released in beta September 3rd, 2021, being another pig-inspired game. As you can imagine, this was created because of Creekcraft's character Timmy being very popular at the time. However, what was not popular was the game. The monster was faster than the player, there was an overwhelming amount of things in the game at the very beginning with no explanation to what they do, like to level up Timmy, and this might just be my opinion, but I think there were a bit too many Roblox purchases, at least for a piggy-themed game. Anyway, Chapter 2 came out on 19th of December 2021, and was the second and last update to the game, with Wonderworks half a year later announcing that Timmy is discontinued, so I won't receive any more updates. And also, just by looking at Creekcraft's tweet the day Chapter 2 came out, the communication might have been bad, or at least could have been better.
I was like, wait, what? It updated? I had no idea it was gonna update today. I literally, y'all ain't gonna believe me. Nobody's gonna believe me, but I actually had no idea it was gonna update today.
I was never really a fan of the game, but it sucks to see a game with so much work put into it stop after 2 updates. I did like the first chapter's map though, and the Krabby Patty mobile was pretty cool. And now, as a surprise, we're going back to 2016 with the first Roblox game I ever played, which I can guarantee you've never heard of. So in the summer of 2016, I watched some DanTDM Roblox videos of games such as The Plaza, Roblox and Water Park, and other interesting games. But it wasn't until August 30th, 2016 when I watched this video on Roblox Pokemon Go when I finally decided to create my account on my dumpster
Yo, this is
laptop.
OG. I'm
As you
not
can
this much of
imagine,
an OG.
it's a game where you catch
I'm not an
Pokemon
OG
from
at all
starters to really rare ones,
Roblox.
just like in Pokemon Go. But unfortunately, now the game has been privated because of Nintendo taking down just like Pokemon Brick Bronze. The game still managed to get 500,000 favorites, 145,000 likes, and 104 million visits. So for its time, I'd say it was a success, but
sounds pretty good to me. But
revisit that game.
ladies and gentlemen, man, go subscribe to the one and only Bullet Warning, man. W video. I don't know what the heck that ad was still, but comment down below what game you used to play that you think is forgotten now. Me personally, there's this one drifting game, I can't remember what it was, and there's one NASCAR game. They're kind of forgotten now. They kind of don't exist. They do exist, but like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna catch y'all later. Hit that like and subscribe, and comment down below what you guys want to see me react to next, and go subscribe to Bullet Warning. Anyways, peace.